Hello. We've now completed week 2 and we're about to go into week 3. So what we're going to have is an update of what's going on this week and application project 2. So let's keep going. If you have any questions or something's not working, please reach out to me. I'd rather talk now than as we move forward and you don't get something. So feel free to ask questions. If you want more detail or you want me to go deeper into something, I'm more than happy to. So make sure you do let me know. We're at the halfway point at the end of this week. Speed is picking up. This is the very busy week, so plan your time appropriately. I will review and comment on Project 1 by Tuesday morning. So if you've already posted it, or as soon as you post it, I'll be looking at it over the weekend with my goal of getting back to you with specific comments and a grade on those 15 points. So what I'm going to do this today is, and through this discussion we're going to have right now, instructions for Project 2. What do you need to do? Then I want to talk about the midterm for most. And then when we move into week 4 to 6, we're going to have specialized areas of discussion. We're going to have a discussion on interest rates, risk and reward, financial markets, and equity. We're going to talk about capital structure of the firm. How does the firm use debt and equity to leverage the business and make the most profit it can by managing its risk? And then we're going to take a look at planning and risk management. And that will take us right down to the end of the summer. So let's keep going on application project 2. This project is also worth 15 points and due no later than June 5th. It's recommended that you complete this assignment prior to taking the midterm. It will actually help you to do better on the midterm. This should be done in Excel, in an Excel worksheet that you used in the first project. We're going to be pulling this all together as we move through the remainder of the course. The last assignment for 10 points is going to have you really take everything and pull it together into one PowerPoint supported by the Excel worksheets. What we're trying to do through this is to get you an understanding of how to look for information, how to compute information, how to look at information, and use information. Okay? And that becomes a really important thing. So for Project 2, this is what you need to do for your company. Prepare a 5-year summary income statement in a table format using common size, and then a graph as appropriate. So this will be worth 2 points. Now I'm going to go through this with you with Eris International so you have an idea of what it looks like. The next thing you're going to do, that's part 1, so you'll need a separate worksheet within the document that has that. I want you to prepare an analysis of sales or revenue for the past 5 years. Now, you did this in Project 1. So now what I want you to do is to bring that forward and explain the drivers of change in sales and revenue for the past 2 years. So we're trying to understand not just what the number is, because we can calculate that. You already calculated it in Project 1. But now we want to come back and say, well, why? Why did it change it? And we want to go deeper. We don't want to just say, oh, sales went up, sales went down. But what was it in a level of detail that drove it? And this is where you want to go back. You've already identified strategies that they're engaging in. Is that a lot of times these drivers or things that cause sales to change are a result of implementing strategies. Okay? And we look at that both from an internal perspective and an external perspective. Within the firm, we're trying to make sure that we're measuring the impact of our strategies, and those external users are trying to do the same thing. So we have to do that analysis, and that's worth 5 points. This is the hardest thing you're going to have to do in the whole course, I think. Then what I'd like you to do is compute the following ratios for 5 years. 5 points. And that's the current ratio, inventory turnover, financial leverage, debt to equity, then keep going We're going to take a look at the tangible net worth, the interest coverage, but you have to compute EBITDA first, then the cash flow coverage, which you need to compute EBITDA, and then return on assets and return on equity. So that's 5. And the last piece is, now that we got this data laid out, okay, we got our financial statements, we got our explanation of what's happening with sales, we've looked at ratios. What I want you to do is now look at that, the financial review, the ratios, look at what you did in Project 1, and identify the 10 most important questions you would like to ask to better understand the numbers or go deeper. You don't need to answer the questions at this point. You need to develop them. You want your questions to be fairly specific. You don't want to just say, well, why is the debt ratio that? No, you might want to comment, why is the leverage ratio declining over a period of time when assets are growing? But something very specific, and I think you'll see that when we do the sample. The midterm exam will count for 30 points. You may take the midterm anytime between 7 p.m. Thursday, June 2nd, and 7 p.m. on June 6th. Once you start, you must finish, and there is a time limit, and you only have one ability to submit. The exam is going to be a mix of multiple choice, true, false, and fill in the blank. Now, this is the first time that I'm using Canvas for a test, so we'll have to see how that works. Now, obviously, you're going to be online and doing this, but I want you to know that the questions are on the applied side and will require research. They will require you to look at investor presentations, 10Ks, interpret information, not just spit back to me a definition. Okay? It's going to be very, very applied. So the best thing I can say is read the question carefully and check your work. A few other things. If you wish me to review and grade Project 2 prior to your exam, please email me and let me know you'd like me to do it. The next thing is, once the exam is graded in Project 2, you will have completed 60% of the class. It will remain one submission of your individual project and then the final exam. Please let me know if you have any questions. And again, what I'm going to suggest is you look through this video, go through the lecture and the notes, and then take a look at how I will explain and walk through Project 2 for you again. And please do let me know if you have any questions. And have a wonderful week.